What's good with y'all, man? So Jarone Boots Ennis' next move, should he drop his belt and move to 154 pounds, or should he defend his title against mandatory challenger Karen and continue the campaign at 147? Let's discuss it in this video. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Catch me live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7:30. I'm also live every Sunday morning with KC Boxing Network at 9 a.m. Central Time, and I ask that you join the channel as a member. Drop super chats and super thanks when you come by the live streams and the videos that we do. And hit me up if you want to debate. KnockoutBoxing86@yahoo.com is the email address. Let's get to it, though. Straight to the action. So Jarone Boots Ennis. For those y'all don't know, we've covered the entire Jarone Boots Ennis Brian Norman situation. That shit is over with. I've made my feelings very clear and very known on that topic. So now we move on to what's next for each of these fighters, right? We know what's next for Brian Norman Jr. I think it was a stupid-ass decision. Not only a duck-ass move, but it's hustling backwards to not take the most money you could take in the biggest fights you could take at the time that you could take it, because you never know if that shit will be there in the future. You could lose, you could get hurt, your potential opponent could lose, they could get hurt. Shit changes so much in boxing. You got to take the millions of dollars while they on the table for you. Instead, he fighting on the undercard for far less money. I made that shit clear. We offer that. If anybody want to talk about that shit, you can hit the link while I'm live and we can debate it. But people don't like to debate it because y'all know I'm fucking right about this shit. So what you do is you wait for the panel to be open, and then you'll come and talk the shit on the panel when it's an open forum. But this one-on-one fade, no one wants smoke on that topic. So I'm leaving that shit alone. Jarone Boots in his next step, right? What should he do with his career moving forward? For me, honestly, bro, I see both sides, but I'm leaning heavily towards the 154-pound division is where he needs to go ahead and start campaigning at. And that's okay, right? People aren't going to be able to build their legacy in every single division possible. Like Manny Pacquiao was a champion in way lower weight classes, but he's mainly remembered for what he did when he got up to 140, when he got up to 147, because those were the bigger fights. That's what we remember Manny for. But he had a whole career at lower weight classes where he did a lot of great things against a lot of great fighters that not a lot of people talk about. People kind of talk about that run he went on when he was just wrecking shit, what he did to guys like Miguel Cotto, Oscar De La Hoya, Ricky Hatton, you know what I'm saying, the Tim Bradley fights we remember. We remember the Juan Manuel Marquez fights. Not really necessarily the ones at the beginning when they were both smaller, but when they both started fighting at 140 and 147 respectively. So not everybody is going to have a huge run or be remembered for what they did in every single weight class that they fought in. You think of even more recent times, if we don't want to go as far back as Manny Pacquiao, you think of Monster Inoue. He wasn't just champion at 118 or 122, but that's what we mainly know Monster for, is becoming undisputed in those two weight classes. That's where the majority of his legacy lies. But he was a champion at weight classes before 118, before 122 pounds. I believe he's like a 4-division champion. So he was a champion at 112, I think 115 as well. But that wasn't where his legacy was built. He didn't fight the other best fighters at 115 pounds. You know what I mean? We don't remember what he did at 112. He got belts in those divisions and continued to move on, right? And so I think, for me, that's what I would like Jarone Boots Ennis to do. You got your belt. You defended your belt at 147 pounds. It's not like he got the belt because he didn't want smoke with other fighters. He got the belt because he just came in the wrong era, bro. He came up in the welterweight division where he was a young guy, and that was the era of Earl Spence and Terrence Bud Crawford. And they spent 4-5 years circling each other, and they fought all the names of their era. And nobody from Boots in this era really was able to make a name for themselves and really become stars. And so as Spence and Crawford finally fought each other, Keith Thurman leaves, Sean Porter retires, Danny Garcia leaves, Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford finally fight for Undisputed, and then after that fight, they both leave. Jarone Boots Ennis gets elevated to welterweight champion. Now he's looking around. There's no names there. There's no one to fight. You got one champion in Mario Barrios that already lost twice, once to Keith Thurman and got stopped by 135-pounder Gervonta Tank Davis. Okay, pretty good name, but do you stay at 147 for that fight when you know he's already showed no interest in fighting you? Then you have Imantas Stanionis out of Lithuania. I love Imantas Stanionis. I think he got a great style. He's very fun to watch. But is that we staying at 147 if you Boots in this for that fight? after he already is turning down offers and made it clear that he gonna need $2-3 million just to fight you. And then we all saw the fiasco with what happened with Brian Norman Jr. There's no names at 147. So is it worth going over there to defend your title in a mandatory challenger just so you can keep your belt at 147 to try to go chase champions that have already showed no interest in fighting you? And not only that, you're fighting a mandatory challenger, number one, that no one wants to see you fight. And the reason that they don't want to see you fight them leads me to my number 2 reason is because you already beat them 12-0 in a boring-ass fight to where, yes, Jarone Boots Ennis did not cut the ring off well. He did not use his jab well. He didn't put Karen in certain positions that you would think his athleticism would allow him to put him in, with Jarone Boots Ennis being so explosive, so athletic. You would think he would be able to do more than just follow Karen around the ring the entire fight, but he still 12-zipped him, and the reason he was able to 12-zip Karen is because Karen was in the ring but wanted no smoke. I say that again, bro. Karen was in the ring with Boots Ennis but wanted no smoke. He relied on footwork, pivoting out, not getting in any engagements, throwing pity-pat shots every now and then moving the fuck out the dodge, getting the hell away. And Karen is a high-level enough fighter to where if he's in there just to survive and he's not in there to fight you, it's going to be hard to look good against him. It's going to be hard to put anything together against him, bro. So, do you stay in that situation for that fight if you Jarone Boots Ennis? Is that what you do? My vote is no. My vote is no, bro. There's no reason for him to fight Karen, bro. I understand you got people that just completely hate Jarone Boots Ennis is going to say it's a duck. My response to that would be, okay, bro, call him a duck. I'm not calling him a duck because how do you duck a motherfucker that you already 12-zipped? Mandatory or not, he already beat the dude and has no interest in fighting him again. And fight fans, we have no interest in the fight again. I'm not going to call you a duck when I watch the fight and I watch the dude that they claiming you ducked run from you over and over and over and over again. And this was a play by Karen's team because they know Boots Ennis didn't want the fight. They know Eddie Hearn didn't want the fight. So they bid him. They overbid him because we know that they would take the fight if they had won the purse bid with their $1.5 million bid, then okay, we can still put on the fight, Boots. Just go ahead and take this fight. You get to stay active. You know, you're still going to fight in front of your hometown in Philly. The people going to show up for you, and we get to continue to build your name. Okay, then maybe it might be worth it. But the fact that Karen's promoter came in and overbid on a fight that they knew nobody wanted, now you got to reevaluate. You got to ask yourself, okay, bro, I already beat this dude. Should I go to fucking Germany to fight him? Just so I can keep my belt, a belt that's not getting me any fights in the welterweight division in the first place? Should I do that? If I'm Boots Ennis, the only way I'm doing that like Eddie. Like, okay, you went and you made Brian Norman an offer. You went and you made Barrios an offer. You went and you made this person an offer. Can you get Conner Benn in here? Can you give me Conner Benn? Is Conner Benn willing to fight me? The only way Jarone Boots Ennis, the last-ditch effort, in my opinion, that he should stay at 147 pounds for is if Eddie Hearn can get Conner Benn in the ring with Boots Ennis, which I don't fucking think will happen. I don't think Conner Benn will fight him. Hell, to be honest, if I'm being truthful with y'all, I don't think Eddie Hearn wants to set up Jarone Boots Ennis and Conner Benn because he wants to have both of them. I think he wants Jarone Boots Ennis to be his guy at 154 because that's the guy who he really got faith in. They can go win big fights against really good fighters at 154 pounds. And he wants his trasher fighter, the fighter that's not as good, to fight at 147 where he can be competitive with those champions. Because let's keep it real, Conner Benn can compete against a Stanley Ennis, against a Barrios, against a Brian Norman Jr. But if you move Conner Benn up to 154, what the fuck can he do with the top fighters in that division? Not a goddamn thing. He get whooped on, bro. He get whooped on. And then it won't even take a top fighter to do it. You put him in there with Serhai Bahachel, who is a top fighter, but we talking about top of the top, right? You put his ass in there with a Charles Conwell. Put his ass in there with a Erickson Lubin, a Jesus Ramos. Conner Benn get his ass dog walk. Boots is the one that can go beat those types of fighters. Not motherfucking Conner Benn. So I don't even think Eddie would even try to make that fight, but that is the one reason that if you Jarone Boots Ennis, you should consider staying at 147 pounds. But I don't think that's realistic. So for me, you got no champions that want to fight you. The last champion that you just tried to make an offer to outpriced itself exponentially. And you go ahead and you drop your belt, move up to 154, and start trying to campaign there. Start trying to build your career there. Being undisputed at 147 is not any better than being a multiple division champion in multiple weight classes, in my humble opinion. I think that that's harder to do. I think that staying in one division and dominating that division, I think is cool, but no disrespect to anybody that has become undisputed, but I think what Manny Pacquiao has done is one of the most impressive things. I think what Tommy Hearns was able to do. I think multiple division champions, Floyd Mayweather, Ray Leonard, guys that are able to go across multiple divisions, carry their skills up, carry their speed up, carry their power up. That's every bit as impressive, if not more impressive, than just staying in one division and becoming undisputed. Boots is 27 years old. You in your prime, bro. Okay, you can't get no smoke at 147. Go to 154, become a multiple division champion. Try to unify up there. If you can't get the champions up there to unify with you, okay, move up to 60 to try to become a 3-division champion. Can you get the champions to fight you there? Okay, you can't get the champions to fight you there. Move up to 168 to become a 4-division champion. Like, you just got to keep moving and keep going, bro. You cannot stop here. And I keep saying this to Jarone Boots Ennis team, to Jarone Boots Ennis, you know what I'm saying? Because I know everybody watch everybody videos. Salute to the ones that's watching right now. And I say this to the diehard Boots Ennis fans, my boy Deem out of Philly, and other Jarone Boots Ennis fans. Look, dog, like, okay, you 147, the whole division ducked you. So are you going to stay in the division where everybody ducks you and just keep begging and pleading and trying to get them to fight you because you think it's the right thing to do and you think every champion should want to fight every champion and you just dead set on being undisputed at 147? Or do you want to look at the history of boxing and say, look, man, some of the greats, they didn't get to be undisputed at all, number one. But a lot of them, when they did something in the division, if they couldn't get the fight they wanted into the division, they moved to the next. I can't get unification here. I can't get undisputed here. Okay, I'm at 154. Can I get big? Maybe he can be at 154 for 4-5 years into his mid-30s because there's so much smoke there when you think of all the names at 154. Okay, did I get to accomplish unification here? Yes, no, maybe so. Maybe I get undisputed. Okay, now I'm ready to go to 160. And you just keep going, bro. And you keep your career from being stagnant. Nobody wants to see a Gary Russell Jr. situation, bro. No one wants to see that. No one wants to watch a Gary Russell Jr. situation with a fighter as talented as Jarone Boots Ennis. No one wants to see Jarone Boots Ennis be like a fucking Josh Taylor or a Regis Prograis. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Josh Taylor, that's cool. You was undisputed. There was a time that you was a pound-for-pound fighter or whatever. But why didn't you never move up? Regis Prograis, same thing. Why you a career 140 pounder? I think people that stay at the like the Earl Spence, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, and I'm not saying Spence is as good as him, but the guys that are able to stay at a division for a long time, continue to pick up belts, continue to pick up big fights. Number one, they gotta have the star power to get guys to want to fight them. But number two, you know, they gotta make a lot of sacrifices to make shit like that happen. And for Earl Spence, he was lucky enough to where there was a lot of big names in his division at the time that he was in it. So hurting at welterweight didn't hurt his staying at welterweight, I should say, didn't hurt his career. For Jarone Boots Ennis, staying in the welterweight division right now is going to hamper and hurt his career because there's nobody there, and the guys that are there don't want to fight him. So I think there are some good reasons because you want to fight your mandatories. You want to be a champion. If someone comes and makes the argument to me that, hey, man, go ahead and defend your mandatory, beat his ass, and then move up, I wouldn't have no problem with that. It is the end of the year. Like, yo, just fresh slate, 2025, move up after this. Don't rush moving up. Go ahead, fight Karen, get it out the way, and do that. I do understand that argument, but my retort to that is, bro, he already got a fight date in Philly. He got a fight date in Philly. It's November the 9th. We all know that. It's the worst kept secret. He's looking for an opponent. Get somebody at 154 to answer the call, bro. And go ahead and start that process right now. If you Jarone Boots Ennis. So you can start 2025 already having a fight at 154 under your belt, showing out for your home fans again, building that audience, building that fan base, and then going to 2025 looking to make new and big fights and get a title shot in a brand new division. Because fans are gonna call for you to get a title shot damn near immediately. People are gonna want to see you mix it up with the best names immediately if you get into that division, if you Jarone Boots Ennis. So I think that's the best bet for him, bro. It is what it is. So that's what should be next for him. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.